They're building it right now.
For some time, the city had toyed with moving Tent City and other homeless people to a permanent squat on Commissioner Street. The Toronto Disaster Relief Committee, which had always supported Tent City, saw this prefab as a solution to the housing needs of the homeless. It cost around $12,000 and in short time was filthy and old. Most of the residents of Tent City felt their needs would be better served had they been given the $12,000 and allowed to build from garbage and scrap. I think that the house was a good idea, but in the wrong place. And by spring, illegal dumping had almost obscured the buildings anyway, and a series of fires was making people jumpy. For the fourth time since I met him, Eddie found another excuse to avoid rehab. Did you go to your meeting? Just tell me.
I went to 4.
Did you?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Well,
just got high again, right?
Well, someone started the fire over here and I wasn't going to go back. I missed the Friday.
Was the fire after you two going back to meeting?
So if I missed 2 meetings, I had to wait.
There was always a threat of fire because of the candles and stoves. People had been hurt there before because of accidental fires, but these recent deliberately set fires were more disconcerting. Still, with no further movement on a new location, Tent City needed a massive cleanup.
Well, volunteers, companies have come from all over the city, and all kinds of different people, businessmen and homeless people and people who are poor, and they're helping to establish this community as a safer place.
By cleanup day, Eddie and Karen had had their child in a hospital. No child was ever born in Tent City, but the myth had got out.
I know there's a chance. Like, they've got no reason. This time I go to anger management, I go to parenting, I go to relapse prevention, I do my one-to-one counseling. Healthy lives, how to change chemical dependency, sexuality, my family, living with others, moving on.
Yeah. So you're optimistic. And that spring, bolstered by a population boom, Tent City was a busy, optimistic place. It was like a boom town.
I've got a bathtub. It's got to be that big. I'm building a big deck here, Eric. Big deck. A sun deck.
One of the most important facts about people who have had a long history on the street is that they're used to moving and they know how to. With the population growing at Tent City and a number of crack dealers moving in, Brian found it very difficult to remain anonymous. So he moved.
Or if I have to find an apartment for myself, pay $500, $550, maybe $600 a month, I'll do it. I get $930 a month. You don't starve in this city. There's no way of starving in this city.
There's food everywhere.
Sure there is.
Who's staying here now?
Willie and Angel. Willie and Angel staying here.
Did you sell it to them or just give it to them?
No, I let them stay here. No. They won't need a place to stay.
So, not being down here, does it change your the way your outlook on stuff or what?
No, not the way the people are down here. No, it hasn't changed my outlook on people down here at all, right? It's just that I'm not coming back down here. I gotta move on in life.
Brian must have had a sixth sense, because that summer illegal dumping continued, the population swelled to 125, and Tent City was getting a bad reputation as a haven for criminals and drug dealers. People with a long history on the street often have different methods and values for dealing with their problems. These methods are often dangerous and without forethought.
Okay. You're scared, you're a wimp, you're fucked up.
When David and Vince allegedly burnt their own house down so no one else could get it, it brought a lot of heat onto Tent City. What do you think the repercussions are going to be because of this? You think
well, you know what? It's just making it easier for the cops to fucking kick us out of here.
And they want to. Lately they've been...
Oh, fuck. That's just giving them more of a reason to fucking do it now.
To make matters worse, Tent City had become the subject of numerous articles, radio, and TV shows. Most newspaper reports were erroneous, reporting on all the evil and bad doings. There was even a writer planted and pretending to be one of them, living in a shack. The public rode their bicycles through Tent City on their way to the beaches. It was like motorists, morbidly captivated by a roadside accident and incapable of turning away. The last straw in the demise of Tent City was an errant report by the New York Times. So tell me a little bit about this New York Times article and what that...
I don't know. I haven't even read it.
You haven't read it? You read it though, didn't you?
No, I haven't. We just got it about like
So why do you think they came here?
I told you why they came here. They
No, you
wanted
didn't.
to see how our fucking homelessness was going on in Toronto.
You turn around, you put a guy in an apartment, and he's a crackhead. You put him in an apartment. At the end of the month, when he gets his check, 95% of the crackheads aren't going to pay their rent.
Right. So then the problem isn't not having a home, it's crack or whatever they're hooked on.
No, because imagine if they give all of us severe homes and they put us all together. Then we're gonna be slummed
So
out.
tell me what you think then.
You have to separate us. You got to take us and put it. If you're getting us a place to live away from everybody, everybody's gonna go individually in a little spot. You can't. No one's gonna get hurt down here.
But somebody's already been hurt, haven't they?
Saying, no, I'm just saying for the people that really need to be here, that's wrong. When fucking crack dealers being here.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be for someone who really needs to be here. There's nowhere else to go. And I'm an addict, and I'll say it's wrong.
When I came here in '98, there was 4 people here.
But now you got all the crack dealers. We're done. We're fucked here.
And now, you know, now I'm getting ready. I'm gonna go find another spot. You watch. I'll find a nice spot somewhere. Fondest day, burning copper. Just sitting down here doing nothing, nobody to worry about. After a day out scavenging copper and stuff, and just coming back and sitting there burning it. I loved it. I do it all the time.
What was your worst memory?
The day they come down and kick me out. Just the way they did it.
Read my leaves. Don't be afraid to show me what you see. Look into your crystal ball. Tell me if there's any light at all. I'm a man.
The mayor just did a press conference saying that there are 200 shelter beds in the city, and he's got to be talking about another plan. Because I'll call the street hotline now and we'll find out how many there are, right? This is what they told me. For single men in this city, there are a total of 7 male beds.
While no one was surprised that the evictions came, longtime residents like Dry wondered why Home Depot had acted so ruthlessly after allowing the squatters to live there for so long.
The situation, and there was no problem with it. Basically, it's an empty lot. How much damage can a bunch of hippies do to an empty lot?
Well, this was a symbol of how bad things were, and it was just a matter of time before it was closed down. But there were communities here, and there were problems here, and until we do something about the housing situation, that's what we're facing, and things are going to get worse, but most people are living in their glass houses. They don't really realize it. So these dirt kit shelters provided housing over a couple of winters and kept people out of tents, out of living in tar paper shacks. So they serve their purpose, but it's time to move on.
Every wrong road taken, I'd make it right somehow.
There was so much public outrage at the evictions that the City of Toronto introduced a rent supplement program for the residents of Tent City. And in short order, 105 people with long histories of drug abuse, incarceration, and life on the streets found themselves in mainstream housing.
Just tell them that shows you that all the stories you heard about people at Tent City, they're not all that bad. Look where they are right now. Here they are.
I guess you're saying they could be your neighbors.
That's right, and we are their neighbors. It's unbelievable.
What is?
So, how complex. Look at the fields. You don't see this uptown, do you? Down Sugar and Dundas? Look at the grounds. Better than Moss Park.
What's your last memory of downtown?
Walking out of it. Walking out of it. Coming here. Coming here.
Good girl. Good girl.
Watch out, some might go on, don't you? Hey? Oh yeah, Max.
What did you like about Tent City? Just because it was free?
No, the trees. It was nice and shady down there. The breeze, and you look out and you can see at nighttime, right? The lights and all that. Can't even see the CN Tower from here, and I'm mad over that.
2.5 to 3 weeks ago, we were down at Greenwood Community Center signing releases for...
you ever try wood green?
Okay, wood green. Wood Green Community Center, we were signing papers for continued housing under the Tent City project, which was really good because, I mean, this is the first place I've had in a long time, and it feels half decent to have a place. It really does. And before that, if you had come to me and asked me for any kind of receipts or paperwork or anything like that, I wouldn't have had it. Not a chance. Now that I have a place, I have a place to keep my stuff. And it feels good. I can leave my stuff laying around. I don't have to worry about it disappearing or locking my doors or people going into my place. I have a key and it's my own. It's my house. A lot of us,
be serious. Was it most of you or was it not most of you?
Most of us at Tent City have an addiction of one kind or another. 80% of it is crack. I have a severe addiction. I'm no different than anybody else down there. And I'm not going to knock anybody else because I have the same fucking addiction. And I mean, I like it and I don't like it. When I'm smoking it, I love it. When I don't have, you know, it's when I run out of money or I find that I've spent all my fucking money that I hate myself because now I got nothing. I got to go the whole month. You get a welfare check on a Monday, you're broke Monday night.
What do we need in this city?
It's not rehab. We got too much rehab already.
See, I mean, a lot of you guys have been housed and not much has changed.
Yes, a lot of things have changed.
Like what?
Look, rehab, I don't use as much now as I ever used. I used before in Tent City. I felt more freer. Now I'm more paranoid because I might lose something. So I don't do it as much. Or as freely, put it that way. As much as in the open. No, the program worked out good, man. We all got housing. When you get housing, you get more pride. I'm proud of what I have. I want to keep it, and I don't take a chance of losing it, so I don't use drugs as much.
And there may have been other benefits to being housed besides a reduction in his drug use. Even early in his housing, Eddie seemed calmer and reflective, as if being housed were a balm to his mental health. And after losing his second child to the CAS, Eddie seemed well on his way to confronting his pain.
You get red flagged every time, man. And I guess maybe that's got something to do with the way I feel. I can actually cost me, it didn't cost me 2 kids, it cost myself the kids because I didn't stop, right?
It happened twice in the last 2 years.
Yeah, the only time in my life, eh?
But
I've
you're not...
died for 55 years, they just lose 2 out of 12.
Hey, you want a good fella? Randy, you gonna be good? I let you in? You won't bark at Eric? You're lying to me. Yes, you are.
It's okay, buddy. It's nice. I don't know. Someday I'll sit and talk to you.
But I ain't.
I'm the uncaring, unfeeling, whatever I am. Just addict. I care, don't feel about nothing, nobody, nowhere. Anyways.
But only a few months later, in his new apartment on Queen Street, Eddie was right back into it. I guess pain travels as well.
I don't need them as much because I do have this.
Hold on a second. In that last place you were in, you weren't using dope as much as you used it back in the street?
In Tent City?
Tent City?
No. Not when I was in control. When I went out to jail and come back, I used drugs every day. But I've also walked away and never used them for 2 or 3 days.
Some people are concerned about the idea that people who may have addictions are getting public money for rent. I would suggest to them that even if they morally think that people shouldn't drink and all the rest, that society's going to be better off if we look after people and we ensure that people have more and more stability.
Why I do it? Not why other people do it. I smoke because it makes me not hurt, not feel, not care about nothing. It takes me away.
I'm out of here.
If they really do